An area that COVID-19 has had a dramatic impact in senior living communities is culinary. Joining us today for a discussion about this is Sandra Norder. She is the President and CEO of St. Paul Elder Services. Jeff Thorne, Vice President of Operations with St. Therese. Cindy Nino, she is a senior living market developer with Martin Brothers. And from our firm, Community Living Solutions, Dwayne Helwig. Dwayne is the Vice President of Design and a partner in our firm. So Jeff and Sandra, we all know that mealtime and the culinary programs play such an important role in the quality of life and care of seniors in our communities. I'm wondering if you could share with us strategies you've put in place to assure residents stay nourished and their social needs are met during this time.
We all know that food service and meal times are generally, the times of day that our residents really look forward to. Food is something that our residents can control, and so it's something that has been very difficult for them with not being able to enjoy their meals in the way that they're accustomed to. And so we made sure that we were doing some special things for them as we had to discontinue communal dining. So the occasional fun thing like ordering pizza delivery for them, or writing little messages on the bananas on the outside of the peels as we delivered their breakfast trays in the morning. Little messages like "You are special" or "You're loved." Something to provide them with some sort of engagement with us at a time where they would otherwise rather be engaging with each other and with their friends and potentially their families. And with not being able to allow families in, we know that a lot of family members tend to come in at meal times to help mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, spouse eat, to make sure that they maintain their necessary caloric intake. And so that has all fallen onto us, and so that it's just really important that we all are monitoring for weight loss, monitoring those intake records, so that we know that our residents are getting their caloric needs one way or another. And even if it's a matter of giving them a few more cookies than what we normally would under normal circumstances, it's kind of a whatever it takes kind of situation at this point. We are operating under circumstances that are not ideal, and so we need to take some liberties with meeting our residents' needs and preventing things like weight loss that we tend to see as a result of discontinued meal service in the dining room, or isolation from families. But as far as where we're at right now, we are resuming some communal dining. It is just happening in shifts, so our residents of our assisted living facility are assigned to either lunch or supper to be able to come to the dining room. Of course, we created kind of physical flows of where the residents should come into the dining room, where they should exit, really kind of went around our campus and found where we have square tables, and got rid of the circle tables so that we could push square tables together to create those distances that become really important, obviously, when people are removing their masks. And this is going to be the only time of day that they're really engaging with each other without masks on. It becomes really important to be able to physically distance them, and square tables happens to work a lot better than round tables.
One of the most significant changes we made to our culinary program, which most providers did, if not all, was a change to a room service model of delivery for meals. This took a lot of planning with very, very short notice. It took a lot of staff time, and still does, to deliver those meals. I have certainly some concerns regarding sustainability of this room service program, both from the standpoint of the residents' well-being. Meals are such an important part of their day. It's an opportunity for socialization. So that's very, very concerning how long we can sustain this, as well as just from a staff and cost perspective of continuing to deliver all of these meals to the rooms. We do that for our skilled care residents as well as our assisted living and independent living residents. Another change that we made, more so for the independent living and some assisted living residents, is offering to-go meals. So very healthy, prepackaged meals for the residents they can take to their apartment and reheat them as they want to. But that actually gave them a nice option, and an option that we may certainly continue beyond COVID as an opportunity for another dining option for the residents.
Cindy and Dwayne, in light of the trends of the past of large dining rooms, continental breakfast, and very social dining experiences, can you talk to us about what the impact COVID-19 has had, both from a design standpoint, but also in how meals are being delivered into senior living communities?
When it comes to senior dining, we're finding that there's truly no one-size-fits-all approach when tackling many of these changes. Our customers have made the shift to in-room dining, and that has presented new challenges, such as weighing the pros and cons of utilizing disposables, or whether to continue using china for meal service. How do you ensure the proper holding temps are maintained, and how do we ensure that the food integrity remains intact while delivering from kitchen to room?
Understanding that dining can be a resident's most important or only social interaction opportunity of the day. So it's a very important activity that we want to still foster, yet we want to do it in a safe way. And I think in new facilities, what we're trying to do now is just downsize to smaller wings or households, multiple configurations of those within a larger facility, so that we can reduce possibilities of cross-contamination. So we're looking at probably fewer number of residents in a dining room, but I think now we want to start looking at a larger square foot area per resident in a dining room. So you may not see dining rooms get smaller just because the resident numbers that are using them are getting smaller. We want to accommodate more distancing when that is absolutely necessary.
Another consideration could be adding 1 day per week of more convenience food items. That might give your staff a much needed break, or help if you're short-staffed one day.
You may also want to accommodate the grab and go option. So if a resident needs to or wants to dine in their room because they feel safer that way, what's an easy way for them or a staff member to get into the serving area? Let's accommodate a path or an island that's right off the corridor, so that you don't have to go through the dining room to go get a grab and go at the counter and bring it to somebody's room. So configuring the space to allow for something for that type of function, I think, would be very important.
At Martin Brothers, we've had to pivot alongside our customers to provide resources in real time, things such as live webinars on non-communal dining, infection prevention, and other topics. We've created limited staff menus, offered infection prevention solutions, and really so much more. Our coronavirus customer information page has all the resources that we've developed, and we're continuously adding more as the situation evolves.
In many cases, especially in a lot of older facilities, the dining room ends up being the circulation path to get from one area of the facility to the other. So I think in designing, especially new construction, if you can accommodate it in existing construction, getting circulation paths out of the dining room will be very, very important, just to reduce traffic and people flow through that one singular function.
As we continue to move forward, it's important for us to keep in mind that this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to reinvent ourselves and the way that we go about doing business. This time has been a learning experience for even the most seasoned food and nutritional professional, and there are going to be several considerations to take in the way that we approach menus. All items are going to need to be appropriate for to-go or in-room dining service.
Thank you so much, Sandra, Jeff, Cindy, and Dwayne. Very, very insightful information, and something I'm sure many providers will take back to their communities and see how they can work it into their operations. Super helpful. This concludes our culinary session. We welcome you to go to YouTube and find our Community Living Solutions channel and subscribe. This way you will be notified as the remainder of the 4 sessions are rolled out. At Community Living Solutions, we're a planning, architecture, and construction firm, and we'd welcome the opportunity to sit across the table with you, do a Zoom, whatever it might be, to talk about the challenges you're having and ways that we can help you and create a sustainable environment for your residents long into the future. Thank you, and thank you for the great work you do each and every day.